In terms of my product, I stayed very close to generic conventions, specifically of psychological thrillers and other similar thrillers, through the use of music, my title sequence mainly, lighting used in scenes. I chose to use generic conventions to help distinguish my product as a psychological thriller. They help the audience identify my product as a psychological thriller rather than just a similar film such as a drama. Generic conventions also help the audience because they help them to identify who's good, who's bad. They're also good for the producer. So generic conventions can set the tone very quickly for the audience, and they know what to expect. And so going in, they know that it isn't going to be a traditionally happy film. The information that the poster gives about the film, it sets the tone. It includes the main antagonist on the front. People, from feedback, I discovered that people found that it did encourage them to watch the film. It intrigued them. As for the article, it mainly contains more information about behind the scenes of the film, the filming process, things like that. It's not as effective as setting the tone for the film, but it's more effective at communicating information about the film itself and marketing the film towards the target audience. From people who I've spoke to, they also said that it too encourages them to watch the film. It does not follow the same style as the poster, mainly because I based the style of the article off of a traditional movie magazine, whereas the poster was a separate element. Though they are very different styles, all three of which do work very well together. The poster and article work well to market the film, but in very different ways. So the poster will appeal to fans of psychological thrillers or fans of my particular work, and whereas the article itself will appeal to more like traditional film enthusiasts, so people who enjoy reading about behind the scenes, what goes into making a film. But they would all be used in coalition to help market and distribute the film to the wider audience. My audience feedback gave me lots of guidance. It let me know what generic conventions were popular and unpopular. It helped me cement my choices for style of posters and things like that. I wouldn't say it changed the way I constructed the film, mainly because I had a very clear idea of what I wanted the film to look like from the beginning. Although it was important to get feedback because it helped me make decisions that I was unsure of in the planning stages. Some examples of that was the feedback helped me decide on what clothing the actors should wear and what kind of styles they should look like and things like that. Just little things that I wasn't too sure on and I needed some help. I would have asked, if I could do the feedback again, I would have asked more questions to do with the distribution of the film, so different platforms I can market it on and distribute on. So I chose YouTube, but I'd ask them what they prefer, so services like Vimeo or maybe even Netflix, things like that. Technologies I used in construction research, planning and evaluation stages. Mainly during the research and planning stages, I used WordPress to pull all my work onto. It was a blog. I used WordPress before in the previous year. However, it was more useful to me this year because I could like embed video clips of things that I was talking about. And also all my work was then in one place, so it wasn't scattered around and it was easy to find. I used YouTube mainly to research similar products and just give me inspiration a little bit, really. I used it to watch other short films or clips of title sequences for films I talked about previously. This helped me sort of give me a clearer picture of what I wanted. I used Google Maps for planning, so this was used mainly in like a location recce and a direction sheets for cast and crew, so that they knew where they were going, what time they had to be there, things like that. Google Maps is very helpful in that sense that it can give me different directions, traffic updates, things like that, so it really helped during the planning stages of location-wise. I used Microsoft Word for my pre-production, so script writing, printing off the actual storyboard sheets, that's what I use that for. Most of these skills used in research and planning stages I knew already from my previous experience with the programs I talked about. I'd used them for quite a while now, so none of this was really new to me. During the actual production stage, I used a professional video camera. I used my own personal one, mainly because this gave me better ease of access, and I knew my way around my camera better than the ones that the college would have provided. I learned a lot of new camera skills during this project, mainly because I hadn't done much filming prior to this. So I learned more about white balancing and shutter speed and exposure and things like that, just to make sure that the way I filmed my film was perfect, the way I wanted it. I used Adobe Premiere for editing the actual film together. A lot of skills were new to me as I'd never used Premiere before. And it was incredibly useful. It was very easy to get the hang of once you knew your way around. The layout was similar to other video editing softwares I used in the past, and also it was very similar to other products by Adobe, so like Photoshop and InDesign, so you sort of know where certain tools are. I used Photoshop for the article and the poster, mainly because I knew my way around Photoshop as I used it in the prior year's coursework. I could have used InDesign, but I chose not to personally because I have a personal preference of Photoshop because it gives me more creative freedom. Though InDesign is good for layout, I feel that Photoshop gives you more creative freedom with the tools and abilities available to you. I used YouTube to upload my film onto, mainly because it was easy, I knew how to use it. It's easy to access for anyone. Anyone knows almost everyone, especially in the target audience, knows what YouTube is, so they understand where they can find it and how they can find it. Technologies I found the most useful, probably Adobe Premiere and Photoshop, mainly because they were very good to use. The work that they helped me create was very professional in the end, in my personal opinion. A lot better than, say, if I would have used like Windows Movie Maker for the film editing, or Serif Photo Plus for the article and poster. Because I'm using technologies that are very current in the media industry for using professionally, I felt that this helped my film feel a lot more professional and be made a lot more professionally than if I'd used different technologies.